Hi, I'm with my classmates here, and we're going to be talking about um, the high cost of living for college students in America right now. Um, so let's start off with the fact that wages right now are at an all-time high, but the fact is that our tuition and housing costs have increased even more rapidly, so it makes it impossible for us to stay afloat. And does anyone?
Right, yeah. Housing is super expensive here, and my housing is like $6,000 each semester, and so I basically had to take out student loans, which I'm gonna have to pay off, which kind of sucks.
I know that a lot of people say that a solution to dealing with high tuition and things like that is going to community college and transferring, but I know personally, when I was considering doing that, I found out that a lot of the schools I wanted to go to, if they were private schools, would not accept transfer credits. So you actually can't transfer into that school. You would just have to take another 4 years there, which is a waste of time and money in my opinion. I also know that as a commuter, the gas can be pretty bad, traffic can be pretty bad, and parking. So it helps a lot. That's why I'm commuting. It saves a lot of money, but it also has its own difficulties, especially here where you just don't have any parking.
Yeah, and I think also you have to consider everybody's college journey. As an older college student, I'm no longer covered under my parents' insurance. I have bills I've accumulated from my early 20s, so those are things I have to consider. Also, when it comes to a job, it's, do I take the promotion? Do I drop down from being full-time to part-time and taking another part-time job, which also affects financial aid? Mm-hmm. So those are all external factors that do affect how I'm able to pay my bills and pay for school as well.
Yeah. I have a friend who he's also doing something similar. He's paying for all of his education himself, basically, and it's because he has a twin sister, and his parents are only paying for her college. So there's people like that too. He works 2 jobs. He's really lucky that he has a really high-paying one, but otherwise he wouldn't be able to afford this, and he's doing a community college transfer.
And you have to think, when you're working that many hours, it takes away from your schoolwork.
Yeah, and socialize
Absolutely.
if you want to be a person.
Yeah, I work with the university at the Hammer Theater, and they actually limit us to the amount of hours we can work per week to be able to subsidize our schoolwork. So we're only allowed to work 20 hours a week with the university, and so a lot of the people I work with end up taking 2 or 3 other jobs in order to be able to stay afloat with the amount of money they need to live in the Bay Area.
Yeah, I just always think it's just a constant sacrifice and struggle to find a perfect balance. And I think that perfect balance may or may not exist out there, but it's always a matter of looking at everything at a whole and seeing where can I put my time to meet the financial needs that we need to do.
Yeah.
In addition to just tuition and housing costs, there's textbooks, which can get really expensive. Also, I know for art students in particular, you have a lot of additional costs. For example, I was talking to students in the industrial design program here, and they were saying they were forced to buy a $1,000 bundle of art supplies, many of which they actually already owned, and it was required for the class. I know it's probably a unique issue in that case, but art school is notorious for having a lot of additional costs because you have to buy supplies. And I don't know if there's other majors that require that as well.
Yeah, and a lot of students will have to take those. We'll have to be able to buy those things, so that they'll take away money from their budget from food, and they'll go hungry.
Right.
And they won't buy textbooks, and so all of their grades will go down because they're not performing at their best, because they don't have proper nutrition, and they're not living well.
Yeah. Do you guys think that we should just go to 2-year schools, which are a lot cheaper, or make the sacrifice and pay more to get a higher education?
Well, I think if you look at a lot of jobs in the Bay Area, they wouldn't even look twice at someone with an associate's degree. I think at the minimum.
A lot of jobs you need a master's or higher.
Right.
If you want to get anywhere.
That's just it hurts a lot, like a college student, because we can't survive on this, but we need the college to be successful, and you've seen, because you had to go back to school.
Right, and it's just really hard to, I had to transfer, and even now, I started paying rent $250, now I pay $1,000, so it's really different.
And I see that there's just not and it's all based off of someone's their circumstances, and so I feel like there's not one solution to this problem.
All right.
Yeah, it's a great place to wrap up.